Hi there and welcome to another PSD Tuts spoon-fed Photoshop tutorial. I'm Gavin Steele, and in today's tutorial I'm going to take you through how to create a 3D leaf from a texture photograph. And this tutorial was created by Brent Nelson, and it's a great little tutorial that takes you through the basic steps of mastering the warp tool and coming to terms with how you can manipulate flat images. We're going to be creating this image here, and you can see we've got this really cool little leaves on the corner, and these are all generated by starting out with the same leaf image that we've got here. And it's a brilliant little tutorial, and let's get started. All of the files that you need are linked to within the site. Some great textures there, so do check them out, and let's get started. I've loaded that picture up of the leaf in Photoshop. Now you might notice when you look at this image, it's actually facing a different way than the one in the tutorial. And it actually looks, I find, in this state that you're looking at the bottom of the leaf. But hit Command-T to rotate it, and I'm just going to flip it around. And it then, when you look at it again, if you look away and look back, it looks like you're looking down on top of the leaf. I don't know why that does that for me, but that's how I see it. So we're going to Command-T this image, and we're going to right-click on the layer, and we're going to go to Warp. Now on the tutorial it highlights which corners you need to start with first, and we're going to start with this top one up here, and we're just going to bring it straight down just to about there, and then we're going to grab this bottom leaf and we're going to bring that one up to about there, and then we're going to grab this little handle and we're just going to pull it around like so, and then pull this bottom one around again like so, and hit enter until you get something that looks a little bit like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit V on the keyboard. I'm going to move this to the right and zoom in, Z on the keyboard, grab my eraser tool, shrink it down a little bit, and I'm just going to get rid of this line just to see how we've done. Okay, that's not too bad. We've missed out this little area here, unfortunately. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly just grab the clone tool, alt click, and with a soft brush just start to tie this together. Bring that up. Okay, now if you have a look at this line here, we can actually start to cut away that line. So I'm going to grab polygon tool, start about here, hit delete, Command deselect, grab my eraser tool, just get these edges so it's not too straight a line, a little bit too much there. Bring the hardness down. Okay, that looks pretty good. And let's zoom out and see how that looks. And that looks okay. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to try and bring in a little bit of a bend into this, again with a bit more of the warp tool and maybe a little bit of the liquify tool as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Command T again, right click, grab the warp tool, and I'm just going to bring this bottom part up to about there, straighten this up like so, and then I'm going to grab this top anchor, I'm going to move this over to about there, and then just straighten up. Across, bring this down just a bit. Just playing around till we get a leafy kind of shape going on. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm just going to bend this in. Okay, and just tweaking all the little arms and anchors. Until we get something we're happy with. Hit enter. I'm going to quickly fly into the liquify tool. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, using this, the forward warp tool, I'm going to bring my brush size down. I'm just going to push in just a little bit, and actually, if I just grab the right layers, and let's just move that in. Touch. In fact, that's probably too much, so I'm just going to go back a couple of steps. Bring that brush right down. Click on OK. And now we're just going to get this little bit of a lip. It's not perfect, and again, if you spend a little bit more time just playing around with that, you're going to create a nice little effect. But I'm pretty happy with that for now. Hit Command T again, right click, we're going to do a bit of perspective, and we're just going to bring in these anchors. Let's bring this up. Oh, that's pretty good. You don't want it too much, otherwise it's just going to fade off into the distance. So trying to get like it's just lying away from us. In fact, that's far too much. Okay. Right, next step. If we want to get the leaf to bend away from us, we're going to grab our selection tool, and we're just going to select this first half of our leaf, then hit Command T, then right click and warp, and we're only going to end up warping this area here. And what we're going to do is we're going to bend this down. So I'm just going to grab this bottom corner, this corner here, and just bend that right down. Okay, and then hit enter. And that's just going to give the impression that the leaf's bending down. And what you could do is you could go in, grab your burn tool, and lightly you could just darken this area here where it's bending, and that will give the impression the leaf's just bending down, but you don't have to do that bit. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this layer, so hit Command J, and I'm going to do it 3 or 4 times. That might be a little bit too many, but we can just hide them. And then what we're going to do is we're going to warp it so that we're going to show just some slight differences in them. So I'm going to V on the keyboard on our bottom layer. Let's turn these ones off for now. And I'm just going to move it off the screen, rotate it a bit, and I might scale it down just a bit and have that coming in from the top. Grab our next image, Command T, scale that one down. Oh, on the wrong layer there. Command T, scale that down. I might flip this vertically. Again, rotate that and bring that under. And bring it under our original layer so it just sneaks out the bottom. Like so. Grab this layer, again Command T. Let's scale this one down. bring that below, or the two layers, until you get some kind of layout that you're happy with. In fact, I'm going to grab this layer again and just flip it horizontally. And then this last layer,